Okay, sounds good. Let's just check all the settings. Right. There'll be a little bit of audio playback here in a second. Just so I can listen to this. Make sure this is all good. Let's go into YouTube. Holy crap, we've got a lot to talk about today. Yeah, no, this is a very different video than usual. This is not going to be a gameplay video, which I'm sorry if that's what you're expecting. I'm not doing that today. No, something different. Okay, but it all sounds good. Let's check everything. I'm just gonna go ahead. For viewers, if you can hear me, please type a 1 in the chat. But I'm sure that the stream is pretty good. Okay. Hold on a second. Sorry guys, I was gonna make sure this is all good, because I want this stream to actually... I want my point to get across with this. So, I'm just gonna check everything right now. Once that's done, I can get into what I need to, do. Okay. Just waiting on everything to be set. Once that's done, we're good to go. Okay, let's... Holy shit, that quality is terrible. What is wrong with my YouTube at the moment? Settings. Wow, why have I got the quality on here set to 144p? That's ridiculous. Let's fix that up. 720. Thank you. HD. That's better. Okay, let's listen. Make sure everything's working. Yeah, okay, we're good. Okay. So, now for those of you who don't know, there's been this phenomenon, or whatever you'd call it, going around the world at the moment called the Mandela effect. That's what we used to call it. Okay. Now, Mandela effect. Now, okay. I don't know how to explain this without sounding like an idiot, so bear with me here, as I sound like a fucking idiot. I don't care. Yes, there's gonna be swearing in this because I'm pretty mad, but I don't care. Now, here's the problem. So let's get into what the Mandela effect is. The Mandela effect is basically... Okay, I'm gonna need to pull up the proper description, but the Mandela effect is a phenomena that has been affecting people, where they remember things differently than what they are now. Basically, this means that, say, here we go. The basic form of it is called a false memory. Now, yes, at first, this is what we all thought it was. We all thought, oh, you know what, it's probably just false memory. So a false memory, for those of you who don't know, is the psychological phenomenon wherein a person recalls something that did not occur. False memory is often considered in legal cases regarding childhood sexual abuse. This phenomenon was investigated by psychological pioneers Pierre Janet and Sigmund Freud. Freud wrote The Etiology of Hysteria, where he discussed repressed memories of trauma in their relation to hysteria. Now, we don't need to worry about that. That is not what we're talking about, but that's basically what everybody thought the Mandela effect was. And for a good time, and for a long time, well, that's all we had to go on. Now, another thing for this is that the Mandela effect is the theory that somewhere, someone traveled back in time and changed something in the past that now affects the course of history. So, this is called the butterfly effect, I think. So, basically what the butterfly effect is, say you go back in no, it's called the grandfather effect, that's right. Say you go back in time and you kill your grandfather. This means that you cannot be born, but you had to have been born for you to kill your grandfather. But if your grandfather wasn't born, if your grandfather was killed before you were born, then, well, you couldn't have gone back in time to go and kill him. See, and we get a paradox here. Now, a better and more simple way of explaining this is, now, every action we do has multiple choices. Say, for example, you want a drink. That's the first thing. You want a drink. And there are 3 types of drinks you could possibly want at the moment. A coffee, a soda, or a beer. Now, there's a timeline, there's a reality for each one of those options. In one reality, you have the coffee. In another reality, you have the beer. And in another reality after that, you also have the soda. However, that then strings off to make even more realities. So, in the coffee reality, say you've got the choice of what type of coffee you want. You want black, or do you want white coffee? There's a reality for each of those. Then for each of those, there's a reality for if you want sugar or not, or if you want milk or not, and so on and so forth. Basically, there's a parallel universe for every possible action and outcome. Now, this is basically what we think of the Mandela effect now. So, a good example of the Mandela effect is the Berenstain Bears, or the Berenstain Bears. Now, let's see. Now, Berenstain is a popular children's book that I'm not sure exactly when it was at. It might have been in the late 90s or something. But, the point is, so many people believed that the Berenstain Bears, or Berenstain, whatever you call it, was spelled S-T-E-I-N, where it's actually Berenstain. But so many people remember it the other way, that it started causing up a big stir. Like, are we remembering it wrong, or is something actually happening? And the reason it was called the Mandela effect is because, well, it was named after Nelson Mandela, obviously, because the first actual instance of this ever happening is back when people thought Mandela died in prison. But he didn't. That's the problem. Mandela didn't die in prison. But so many people do remember that. The truth is, he survived, and I could be wrong, but I think I think he died pretty recently, but so many people remember him dying in prison. Another thing, the tank boy. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of that, but there was this boy in China, maybe? I could be wrong. Who stood in front of tanks to stop as a protester or something, and people remember him getting run over, where in actuality he didn't, but so many people remember. This came down to the theory that it was split timelines, but it isn't. Okay, now I'm going to take a moment here. Excuse me. I'm going to take a moment here and just talk about something that's been a problem with me. Now, Mandela effects are pretty common. A lot of people will have similar Mandela effects, or like a group of people will have exactly the same one. So, like for example, I remember, what was it? The United States having 51 states, where in actuality it doesn't. I remember New Zealand being up further from Australia, up further near Australia, but it isn't. I remember a lot of different things. I definitely remember, where we were in the universe. That's another thing. We have shifted across different galaxies, okay? Now, I know a lot of people watching this will probably think, this kid's an idiot. Go ahead, that's fine. But I know what I know. I look up at the night sky, and I see something different, okay? The stars are different, okay? You can't tell me that the stars are like what they used to be 2-3 years ago. No, they're not. The moon is different. The sun is different. Everything is different in this reality. A lot of people don't realize it, or a lot of people don't notice it. A lot of people in this reality that claim that it's always been this way, well, here's the thing, it has been for them. We've moved into a new reality. That's what's going on. Things aren't changing, it's us that's moving. Now, I'm going to pull up something here from the Bible. Okay, this is a quote from the Bible. I'm going to read this out for you all. Okay. So, excuse me for a second, Google is being a little bit slow, but that's no problem. That's because I'm streaming, so it's cutting some stuff down. Alright. Now, this is from Luke 21:25. Luke chapter 21:25, I think that's what it is. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. That is from the New International Version of the Bible. King James Bible. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. What else? Where's a really old one? Where's one of the old ones? Okay, so the point is here, one of the things about the Mandela effect is that people have noticed that the pattern of the stars has changed, okay? I can't, actually, you know what, I can use this to show you. No, I can't. But the thing is, people have noticed that the sky has changed, alright? We've seen planets and stars that we never even knew about, like, there's a sister Earth that we had no clue about years ago, but now all of a sudden, oh wow, we know about these new planets. Now, and then there's the thing about the sun. I don't know exactly what other people have been seeing, but for me, it looks like it's a different color. It looks like it's a different color than what it was just a year ago. The moon looks completely different. I can't see the man in the moon face anymore, okay? The face of the man in the moon is gone. Now this quote, and there shall be signs in the sun, the moon and stars, and on the land is distress of nations with perplexity. Come on! That's literally what the Bible said, and what have we seen? We have seen signs in the sun. The sun looks different to us now. Signs in the moon. The moon looks completely different. And stars. In March, there was this bright star in the sky that we had no clue about, and there were several objects orbiting it. I'll link to some channels in the comments when I finish this stream. I'll link to a channel that actually has the video about this, but there was this object in the sky. People said it was Jupiter. No, it's not Jupiter. Jupiter can be viewed, but this was viewed by the naked eye. Like, come on, everybody could see it. Not a lot of people realized it was new, but okay. So, here's the thing. This object, now, I don't personally believe in it, but a lot of people have claimed it could be Nibiru. I don't believe in Nibiru, alright? But, you know what, to each their own. I don't really believe in God either, but, you know, I've got to use this to, explain myself. Because this is what's been happening. We've been seeing signs in the moon, the sun, and the stars. And in the sky and that. And what about the part of, and on earth there'll be anguish of nations? What has happened? We've seen the threat of war so many times. Donald Trump. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. It's... Okay, so we've seen Donald Trump. He fired missiles, or a missile, I could be wrong, sorry, I don't really keep up to date with it all that much, but fired missiles at, I think it was Syria. North Korea's threatening with a nuclear war. Russia, for God's sakes, like, seriously, it's ridiculous. Honestly, people need to wake up and realize what's happening. Now, okay, now let's get back onto the thing about the Mandela effect and what it's been doing for me personally. Now, I've shared this with a couple of people, and the few people I've shared it with believe me, and that's awesome, because they've probably been affected by it too. So let me explain. One day, I think it was May 2014, no, not 14, May 2015. I wake up, and I notice that my parents are completely different people. Okay, now, bear with me here. When I say completely different people, I don't mean like they were swapped with someone else. No. No, they were the same people, but they acted completely differently. Now, excuse me for a second, just go do something. Alright. But, alright, so, when I say different people, I mean that they were acting differently. Like, my mum is usually a carefree, happy person, but all of a sudden, she's really anxious, like, really upset all of a sudden, like, that's not who my ma is. I don't understand what's going on. And my dad, like, he's usually chill as well, but he's like, always wanting to get things done on time. I don't understand. What's going on with the world? Like, my parents were completely different people. My brother is the only one who was the same. Okay, he was the only one I could relate to. He's the only one who stayed the same throughout this entire thing. Then all of a sudden, there's this sister I don't know. Okay? This sister pops up out of absolutely fucking nowhere. Sorry for my swearing, but it's getting on my nerves. Okay, no one believed me, except for Mitchell, okay, no one believed me except for a few people, which is good, that's fine. I don't need everyone to believe me, because I know what I saw. I know what I experienced. But the thing is, Oh, okay, so sorry, I'm getting off track here. Let me get back to what I was explaining. So, this lasted like that for a few weeks. And then, all of a sudden the sister disappears. Like, just completely vanishes. I've got no clue what happened to her. I can't find any records of her now. Now, another thing that happened is I was looking into something about my uncle's death. Now, I'm not going to reveal who my uncle was, but he was pretty big news here in Australia. But my uncle's death has changed from what I remember it, okay? Now, his original death was that he hung himself out of fear of something happening to him. So he committed suicide. But now, his death is completely different. Okay? Now his death is that it was a drug overdose? Like, what? How is it a drug overdose? Okay? I'm gonna look for this right now, actually, and see if I can pull this up and read the exact article. Just a bit about, excuse me. Wait, what? I can't... Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, I can't even find a thing about, this guy, about my uncle. Okay, but don't worry. Yeah, they're saying... Yeah, here's what I don't get. They're saying that he was expelled. He was not expelled. I can ask my mum about this. He was not expelled at all. Okay, he stayed in school. He committed suicide while he was in school. He didn't commit suicide at the school, he committed suicide at home. This was when he was really, really young. My mom knows this stuff, okay? She experienced it firsthand. But that's not what the records say. They say stuff that's completely different. Honestly, this Mandela effect thing is getting crazy. And I just want to know what's going on. Now, I get that not many people will believe me. That's fine. I honestly do not need the satisfaction of people believing me. That's alright. I understand. It's a bit of a tough thing to swallow and listen to anyway. You can't listen to this sane. You can't listen to this with a, sane outlook. It sounds like I'm insane. It really does. And that's fine. I understand. But with all these things that are going on, I'm sorry. You can't tell me, you cannot tell me that, you can't tell me that there's not something going on, alright? The thing with the Bible, there'll be signs in the heavens, and that we've seen different things. There'll be stress among nations, threat of war all the time. My own personal experiences with this, it's crazy. But what's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. The Mandela effect is not actually what's going on, alright? Now, that's what we call it in this world, but... Now, not many people will believe me. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. I really don't need people to believe me, like I've said before, but here's something that I do need to know. Those people out there who have been affected by this Mandela effect thing, we need to come together, alright? We need to come together and support each other through this, because it's going to be a tough ride. Okay, this is going to be a very tough thing to deal with. You'll notice signs, okay? You'll notice little things that have changed. It might not be immediately that you notice it, but you will notice it. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The Mandela effect is it's basically become more than what it actually is. Okay, it's not the thing about split timelines. No, 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 no. It is not a split timeline thing. Trust me, it's not. It's more so a, it's more so just, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused here. I didn't write a script for this, okay? I never use scripts, so... Now, the Mandela effect... Okay, so, when I was talking about my parents being different, okay, that is what happened. My parents had changed. Then I went back to the world where I am now. I'm now in this reality where my parents are back to normal, the sister's gone, no more news about it. But while I was in that reality of this person who was, excuse me. Yeah, Mum?
So you have to use your laptop, are you?
Oh, do you need it, Mum?
No, I don't need it. I would like it tomorrow so I can play one of those.
I apologize for that. That was just my mother. But, yeah, no. Now I'm back in this reality. But in that old reality, where I was, the reality where my parents were completely different and I had this sister, the Mandela effect did not exist. Okay? We had no clue what the Mandela effect is. I only learnt about the Mandela effect late last year. But now, back there, it was still known.
They've left $2 something out there. $2.
Okay, stream will be up, but I will be back probably within 10 minutes. So please bear with me. Apologize for the inactivity, but I shall be back. Don't worry. Thank you very much for watching. Okay. Okay, we're now back. Apologies for my massive absence. But, you know, I couldn't really do much. I had a job to do. So, anyway, now we're back to this. Let's get back into what I was talking about, which was about the thing about... Oh yeah, that's right. Now, like I said, back in that old reality, where my parents and that were all different and I had the new sister, what happened was basically, well, back there it obviously wasn't called the Mandela effect, because back there, nobody experienced that change. It was the same, okay? Throughout the whole thing, it was the same. But, but we knew that things were different. People were disappearing, okay? That's the thing. People were disappearing. That's what was happening back in that world. And what it was called the rapturing, or something. Yeah, it was called the rapture. Now, a lot of people probably won't even remember this, unless you are from the universe that I came from. Well, I technically came from an even different universe than this one. This isn't mine, the last one wasn't mine. None of these universes are mine. Okay, they're all different. The one I came from, it was a simple universe. Nothing too particularly bad was going on. Yeah, the war with ISIS was going on, but that was basically the only major thing that was going on. Back in my universe, we had Obama still as president and things were fine. Nothing was different. No, it was fine. Obama was still president. In the next universe where my parents were different, Clinton was president, and it was World War III. Seriously, she started World War III. It all started with something Clinton said that North Korea or something didn't agree with, and it all went to hell from there. Ah man, I will be back again. I'm sorry, I keep getting interrupted, guys. Sorry for that. Alright, we're back. Now. Okay. So, let yeah, fuck off. Alright, no, anyway. As I was saying, so, back in that old universe, it was called the Rapturing. People that had come from the new realities were called the Raptured. Okay? At the moment, me and only one other person are the only people that I know of that have spoken about this. Now, I know for a fact, I've been through 3 different realities so far. One where none of this was happening. The one where we knew it was happening, but it was called the Rapturing. And now this universe where it's called the Mandela Effect. Everything we see in this universe has happened. The reason we don't remember it, like everyone else in this universe or reality, whatever you want to call it, does, is because it already happened here for them. They know it happened. It did happen. Nothing is changing. Okay? The only thing that is changing is us. We are moving. The affected people. The people that are being affected by the rapture. The raptured are moving. They're shifting through realities. One other quote from the Bible is that God stated that he would create a new heaven and a new earth. Now, that's probably what he's doing, okay? That's probably, like, let's say that this is God. Now, like I said, I'm not a massive Bible person. I don't believe in God. But after everything I've seen and experienced, you know, I can't help but just think. I can't help but think that it could very well be God. So, the problem is now, no problem, sorry. What we need to do is take notice of these small changes. Excuse me, eating a little bit here. But no, what we need to do is take notice of the small changes. Because every little change that we see, it's a big deal, because that means something, we've shifted again. Every logo change, they all happened simultaneously. They didn't happen all together. They happened one after another. Each of those is a different reality jump, or skip, or whatever. Every single one of those, let's say we had 10 different logo changes, like Febreze, Oscar Mayer, Volvo, I can't think of them anymore, LG, all of those, let's say that's just 4. We've jumped through 4 different realities doing that. Flintstones, that's another one. We jumped back and forth through that reality, where it was Flynn and Flintstones, like, we jumped through those different realities, one after another. It happened really quickly. It only took a keen eye to notice them, but luckily we noticed it. Okay. Excuse me, I got out of breath there. But the people who were affected by it noticed it. Anatomy changes, alright, now I noticed that in the human skull there are these different holes. Let me pull it up real quick and let me just see this. I believe that there's one on each eye. Suck it. Here we go. I'm gonna pull this up right now. Okay. So I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I'm just gonna take a look at the image so I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be wrong. Now, the human anatomy was one that was one of the very first quote-unquote Mandela effects that we noticed, like right away. We knew straight away something is up when we saw it. So these holes, there's 2 under the eyes, okay, and there's two on either side of the eye socket, so going towards the outside of the skull. Where were they? What are they for? I don't get what they're there. Okay, I don't remember why those holes are there. I don't know why those holes are there. What else? There's oh, there's also two on the jaw. Two on the lower jaw. Why are there holes on our jaw, okay? And I swear that the jawbone is different too, okay? I opened my mouth one morning, and I felt my, there was the bone that, like, connects your lower jaw to your upper jaw and the rest of your skull. I felt that, like, shift and pop. That's never happened to me before. It's been a smooth movement, but now it feels like pressure almost to open my mouth, like, real wide. Like, you can't see, but I'm opening my mouth real wide when I go silent there for a second. It almost hurts to open my jaw. I go to my doctor, we go to the doctor, and he says, like, what the hell? That's not what happens, okay? That's not natural at all. The jaw is meant to open smoothly, like, just like a door, almost. But, alas, it's different. Oh, man. No, the human body. The human anatomy is one that's changed a lot about these different skips. It's been weird. Okay, really weird. Yeah, like I don't know how to explain it. You need to have experienced it yourself to really understand what I'm talking about here. Now, people who watch this video after this live stream, which I need to know how you've been affected by it, okay? This is obviously only for people who were who were affected by this Mandela effect. Another thing about me personally, I'm finding it harder to breathe lately. Like, it's almost like a tiny bit of a struggle to take a deep breath. Like, I remember back in the old world, I was able to take deep breaths, like, super casually. Everyone was, but now it's hard. Like, the air is different. Okay, the air is completely different. Like, seriously, I try to breathe in, and my chest, it feels like it fills up too quickly. Like, are my lungs small or something? I don't understand what's going on. Nobody does, except for the people that, like, none of us can really understand what's going on. You can't grasp the situation and know right away what's gonna happen. Oh, not what's gonna happen. You can't grasp the situation and just understand what's happening, okay? No, that's impossible for something like this. This is massive. Excuse me while I eat here. But so yeah, little things like I mentioned before, like with the night sky, that's a pretty big thing. Like, how do people not notice that? Okay, that's what people asked. How do people not notice it? Because they're from this timeline or reality. They're from this reality. Of course they're not gonna notice a difference, because nothing is different for them. It's been this way ever since Point Blank. They've known this world how it is now for them, okay? Jiffy peanut butter never existed in this universe because that's how it always has been in this universe. It was like that back for everyone in the old universe because that's how we remembered it. This universe, people knew it as Jif peanut butter. Okay? Febreze? Well, people remembered it in the old universe with two E's. People know it in this universe because it's always been with one A in this universe. That's what's going on here. Like, nothing has changed. The only thing that's going on here is we are shifting in different realities. That is what's going on, and I'm positive of that because I've seen these quote-unquote changes happen too quickly for them to be changes. Have you ever heard of a thing called the lunar wave? The lunar wave is a phenomenon that people see where a wave goes across the moon, okay? Like a little wave goes across the moon, and it makes it look like a hologram. This is why people led to believe that the moon is just a hologram and that. No. What I think's going on there, now that lunar wave, when I saw the lunar wave last, yes, I've experienced one lunar wave. It was pretty far back, like 2012 or something. I experienced one lunar wave. This lunar wave, when I experienced it, that's when I first started noticing the changes. Okay? These changes, they hit me like all of a sudden, like straight away. I noticed them, okay? This lunar wave has something to do with it. I've never seen it again, but that's when I started noticing the changes first. The lunar wave is something people need to look into. Study the lunar wave, okay? That's what I'm going to tell you to do. After you're done watching this video, or while you're watching the video, because you're not missing out by looking at the not looking at the screen. I'm not doing anything. Go and look up what the lunar wave is, study it, and understand what's going on. Okay? Now, quantum computers. Back in the old reality, everybody was talking about the quantum computers and how they'd be able... This was the theory. This was what they wanted to do. They wanted to build a computer that could travel through... that could connect to another quantum computer made in a different reality. That's basically what they wanted to do. I'm not sure if anyone remembers that, or anyone knows that, but I sure do remember it. Now, in this universe, quantum computers are absent. Nobody knows what there's been no talk about quantum computers for years in this universe. The last... Excuse me. Okay, excuse me for that. Now, like I was saying, the last talk about quantum computers was, in this universe, like, in... excuse me. Okay, I'm back. My apologies again for absence, but it doesn't matter. Let's get back to what I was talking about. Quantum computers. The last talk about quantum computers was, I think it was 2000 and... I think it was 2012. Yeah, 2012 was like the last talk about quantum computers, and that's when everybody, like, just suddenly stopped talking about it. CERN became the next biggest thing that everybody talked about, which is something that people think is what caused these splits in reality. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's CERN, maybe it's aliens, maybe it's a quantum computer, maybe it's God. Who knows? But the main thing that we know is that it's happening. That's all we know. CERN. Now, CERN's been the fucking cornerstone of all kinds of conspiracy theories. First up, CERN was made by the Illuminati. Next was CERN was made by, CERN is owned by, satanic cults that wanted to try and open up a portal to bring Satan into our world, or our realm of reality. What else? CERN is in association with HAARP and is altering the weather. CERN has been the cornerstone of literally everything, so it's no surprise people turn to CERN when we start noticing these changes and saying that, you know, CERN is the one that's causing this by opening realities, by opening different portals. One theory is that when CERN was doing that particle acceleration thing, is that they may have opened up a black hole and actually ended that reality, causing us to shift into new realities somehow. Now, we have no way of proving this, but one scary fact to realize, and I mean really scary, okay? I don't get scared much, but this frightens me a little bit. Stephen Hawking himself, okay? Stephen Hawking himself stated that if CERN was to crush these certain particles together and find this quote-unquote God particle, they could very well open up a black hole within the Earth, okay? And here's the thing, it would destroy everything that quick, we wouldn't even realize it coming. So while we have no way to prove that CERN did open up a black hole in our old reality, we also have no way of proving they didn't. So what if they did? Huh? Who knows? Because I have never gotten back to my old reality, okay? I'm stuck in this new reality. I have not gone back to my old reality. I have to pretend like everything's okay because the people around me won't believe me, and when I do try to, if I do try to explain, and I say they believe me, they'll get scared. Okay, I care for my family. I do care about them. I don't want them getting worried about things happening, because, and I mean they are, but this isn't really my family. But who knows, maybe deep down, they've realized the change and they're waiting for their Cody to come back. Okay, who knows? I don't know what they're feeling. I don't know what they're experiencing. There's a reality somewhere where this alternate version of me is waiting, looking for his parents too. Maybe he's even looking for his sister. Who knows? I have no clue. So, the thing is, CERN could very well be the cause of this. Who knows? The other theory is, we're a computer simulation. Now, I'm sure everybody's heard the theory about everything we've ever known being just a computer simulation, alright? Now, who knows if this is real? We have no way of proving that it's false or whatever. I mean, who knows? And so if we are a computer simulation, it would be very very easy for things to be changed quickly. Because if someone's advanced, if some alien species is so advanced, they're able to make a simulation of existence. They can change whatever they want, okay? I mean, they're basically ruling over everything if they are in control of this quote-unquote simulation. Now, I don't believe that theory. I do not believe that theory at all. But I know a lot of people strongly stand by it, and who knows, maybe you are right. Maybe we are a simulation. But you know what, we can't... Excuse me. We can't do anything about it, and that sucks. There's nothing we can do about it. Obviously, we can't just ask our creator to stop. If this is what's happening, by the way, I'm not saying it is, but if this is what's happening, we can't just like go ahead and ask our creator to please stop messing with our minds and stop messing with it, because we have no control over that. If there is a creator, he's obviously more advanced than us, aren't they? But the thing is, I have to stop saying the thing is, but no. Another theory is the whole butterfly effect, or whatever it was I said. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. It can't be. If we've experienced these changes, now, if we just experienced these changes and that was it, that's plausible. Okay, it very well could be time travel. But, here's the thing. You can't change what you've already messed up. Say I go back and, I don't know, trip someone on the street. There's a chain reaction. I can't go back and untrip them, because what I'd have to do is go back in time and stop myself from tripping them. But that can't happen, because then there'd be multiple, because then there would be another paradox there. How would I be able to go back and stop myself from doing it? I had to be present to go and stop myself, but I can't be in two places at the same time. So, there's the problem there. You can't go back and change errors if it is time travel. You can't. Say somebody went back and stopped the building of the Great Wall of China. You can't go back and get those people to build it again. You can't, because it will stay unbuilt. But see what's happening now? Things have changed, but we've gone back and things have been different again. Or, for example, the thing with the Flintstones, okay? For, like, a week or two, it was the Flintstones. Everybody saw it as the Flintstones. Then we shifted back into a different reality, and it was the Flintstones again. So it's not time travel. There is no way it could be time travel, because when you go back in time, you can't change what you fucked up. Okay? That is something that you need to realize. Time travel is not a plausible thing anymore, because things have changed back. We've seen them change back. But, what I want to know is, if it is somebody, if it is a person or a higher being that's doing this, And the one question that we all want to know is why? What's the purpose of us shifting through realities now? Why do we have to go through all this? For some, it's really terrifying. One person I know I don't know, but one person on YouTube I watch had lost his entire fucking family, okay? For like months. Then around Christmas he disappeared. He went back to his old reality, okay? And he only returned like recently. But he went back to his old reality, found his family again. But he was able to come back. Obviously he doesn't know how he got there. He doesn't know how he got back to his old reality. But, you know, none of us know how we got here. Or into a different reality. It's just weird, like... Excuse me again. Just like I've kept saying for so long, just the little things are the weird, the little things can sometimes end up being the biggest things we notice. But so the whole idea of this is basically to just you know, get my word out, get my voice heard. Okay, I've been quiet about it for too long. Because I've experienced these changes. Okay, like, I know what's going on. I know what I know who my family is, okay? This isn't my family now. I mean, they are, but they're not the same people I knew 3-4 years ago. Okay? No. It's completely different now. I mean, the world's gone to shit. The world really has gone to shit. Like, you look at the news every day, there's someone being killed. There's someone being robbed or something. There never used to be this much crime back in the day. Back in the days of our old reality. And our old mindset. It's way different than what it used to be. I mean, sure, there would be the occasional stabbing or something, but nothing as big as, like, mass murders. Mass murders were fucking unheard of for the most part. But now you look on the news, it's all around the news, like, what the hell, man? Now, I'm fairly young, okay? I'm 18. I get it. Who am I to talk, right? Yeah. Who am I to talk compared to the millions of people out there who have something to say against me? I'm the type of person who doesn't care what other people say. And you should be too. Don't care what other people say about your opinion. Or, because you know the facts, okay? Like, for example, those people who are commenting right now, who want to comment right now saying, oh, you're fake as shit or whatever, you're fake, go, get a real, life or something. I just ignore those, like, okay, I get it, you don't believe me. You don't need to try and fucking shut me up, because I'm not gonna shut up. My voice needs to be heard. I want my voice to be heard. I want my story told. My story is important to me. And if other people are experiencing the same thing, well, we can help each other. Now I realize that I've... Okay. I know I'm a small YouTuber, that's fine. I don't really care about being a big YouTuber. But hey, if I can get my voice to be heard, that's an accomplishment in my books. That's all I want, okay? I'm gonna put this video on every platform. Facebook, Twitter. I'm gonna put it everywhere. And I want you guys to, if you felt this, if you felt the Mandela effect at all, please share this video, okay? This is not to advertise me, no. This is to get the word out, okay? People are starting to wake up now, okay? People are starting to realize what's happening. Me, one other person that I know of, we remember the old reality where people were starting to disappear, okay? I remember those disappearances. Alien abductions were a huge thing back in that world. For me personally, that's what I remember, okay? Now, alien abductions, they were reported all the time. I myself have been abducted by an alien, okay? I have been. I know people won't believe that, but you know what? I'm going to talk about that too, right? Now, back on my old channel, Mario Maker Pro 2, but you don't have to look that up, I'm just telling you for reference. Back on my old channel, I had a video called My Alien Abduction Story. I had to pass it off as fake because, well, people started disbelieving me, and at the time, I was actually offended by that, and I didn't like it. So, I passed it off as fake, to calm people down. But you know what? No, after all this, I have to retell the story. Excuse me. So, what happened was, I was running an errand for my parents. This is back in the old reality, by the way. No, sorry. This is back in the reality where my parents were different and I had the sister. So, what happened is, back in this reality where I had the sister and the different parents, is I was running an errand for my then parents. I had to go up to a shop and I had to go and look for something. It was about, what was it? I think it was 7 PM. Yeah, it was 7 at night. I went to go and get the stuff that they wanted. All of a sudden, I realized the store is shut, which is stupid because the store is never shut at 7, okay? Coles. Australians will know what I'm talking about. Coles is never shut at 7. Excuse me, mic slipped. But, no. Coles is never shut around then. Coles is like open 24/7 or something. So anyway, after that, I make my way back home, and I black out or something. There's a massive light. I black out. I wake up on one of those beds that has like the arm shackles things that's holding me down, my legs as well. I look around, I start panicking a little bit, but then I realize I'm not really in too much danger. There's nothing around me, and the shackles on my arm and that arms and feet get removed. So I sit up, and there's this figure. It's humanoid. It's speaking at first in a weird voice, like something that's just strange. But then it starts talking English, and it tells me about these different things that are gonna happen, like future events. Like, and nobody will believe me. I understand this. Well, not many people will believe me. But one of the things it told me about was Trump and that missile that he fired at Syria. Okay, I knew it was gonna happen. Crazy as that seems, but it's true. I was informed about it from this creature. This was back in 2015. 2015, I was told about this. I've known about it for 2 years. So, Excuse me. I'm a little bit itchy. I need to shower later. But, no, yeah, no, seriously. I've known about this for 2 years. And I've been told other things. But I can't tell you because, well, I don't know, I've just been told not to tell anybody. Now people were like, oh, why would some higher being tell you? I don't know. Why would somebody tell me? I've no clue. Why would somebody tell me what's gonna happen in the future? I don't know. Why are we told, what happened in the past? What do we need to know about that now? Nothing. People aren't gonna change. Fuck, we've seen that with Trump. People are not gonna change. So knowing what happened in the past is not something... Excuse me, sorry for that. But yeah, no. Knowing all this, I don't know. Yeah, all I can say, oops. Excuse me for a second. Okay, I'm back. Now, I just, now, one thing I go to for proof, people still don't believe me for some reason, even though I have some proof, is that the alien thing gave me this weird device. It gives me the feeling that I'm gonna return to that ship again, okay? Yeah. It gives me the story. Whoa. Okay, sorry, I just saw something that really messed with my mind for a second here. There's a video, which I'll link in the description real quick. There's a video here that's very similar to another Mandela effect. Yeah, where's the description? No, there's something really weird. I just noticed this. And, yeah, so basically this video is about this one kid that, you know, had, what was it? Tried to climb out a window or something, or an attic window, and it never happened. That happened for me too. Well, not exactly that. My one was where I tried to climb on the roof when I was really young. Now nobody remembers that. Well, that's not to say that it didn't happen. It happened. But not in this timeline. Not in this reality. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and link this in the description right now. So for people, the video will be in the description. Let me save changes real quick. I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to go to the bathroom. I shall be back though. But yeah, just yeah, bear with me for a second. Please skip ahead if you're watching this after the live stream. But I'll be back. Okay guys, we're back. Sorry for that. Hopefully, you skipped ahead, if you're watching this after the live stream. Alright. Let me turn this up a little bit. Okay, good. Now, what was I talking about? Let me go back a bit. Oh yeah, that's right, the alien abduction thing. So... yeah. All of that. It did happen. Okay, and I get the feeling I'm gonna go back to that ship one day. I don't know when, but hey, who knows? Maybe that fucking alien knew about the Mandela effect as well, or whatever we want to call it, the rapture. Okay, I'm from the universe where it was called the rapturing. So yeah, back then it was called the rapture, sorry. Literally, everybody talked about it. I remember it so vividly now. I'd forgotten about it for a little while. But I remember now, everybody was talking about it called the rapture. Like, oh, there's gonna be, like, it was... Here's another thing that's changed. Remember the Blood Moon Tetrad? Okay, yeah, remember that Blood Moon Tetrad that happened 2014 to 2015, I think it was? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 2014 to 2015. The big thing about that is that that was something to do with the rapture too, okay? Yeah, I remember that having something massive to do with the rapture. But, but the Blood Moon Tetrad. When has there ever been a Blood Moon Tetrad? Okay? When in human history have we ever experienced a Blood Moon Tetrad? I certainly don't remember it. And I can count for heaps of people that have never ever even heard of a Blood Moon Tetrad. Like, Jesus. But no. Seriously. Blood moons happen like once every... I think it was 4 years? Now we're getting them like every 2 years or something. We're getting them much more frequently than we used to. That's because that's how it used to be in this universe. That's how it always has been in this reality. Like, seriously. Man, I could go on and on about the hundreds of things that have changed. But that won't help. Excuse me. So, all of that aside, the main thing I wanted to get at it is just that, you know, things aren't changing, okay? We're moving. We are moving through realities. Wake up and face the facts, people, okay? It's time to wake up. If you're experiencing these quote-unquote changes, take notice of them, okay? Here's an idea. Keep a journal of everything you've noticed changing. Put the date that you first noticed it change. Compare it with other people. Compare it if you have a friend who's experiencing these Mandela effects or is affected by the rapture, okay? Compare notes with them. Get them to write a journal too. That's all I can say. That's it. Okay, live stream's gonna end for now. I'll be back up probably in a few minutes with proper gameplay, with a gameplay live stream to make up for this weird live stream I had to put up, but it's gotten out of hand, and I needed to say something. Okay, I've had people fucking attack me for believing in the Mandela effect. Well, guess what? I no longer believe in the Mandela effect because it's not the Mandela effect. It's called the Rapture. Get over yourselves. I get you don't know what the changes are because it's never happened to you. Good on ya. So yeah, I'll see my usual viewers later. I'll see you guys. Live stream's gonna end for now. I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video or whatever the fuck I make. See you then. Cody the Hunter out.